University of Texas was forced to integrate, and so they had to let us in. So I came here in 1964. I was in the top 10% of my all-black segregated Dunbar High School. I was smart, I thought, until I got to UT.
Top students in the class, and I had finished number 2 in my high school class. So they was picking the top kids in the class to send because they knew that there were going to be some tough times.
It was like pie in the sky. I'm special because I passed this test and I can go to UT. But when I got to UT, it was not pie in the sky.
People said, look, our tax money paid for 100 years building that university. You need to go down there. You get everything you can out of that place. And so that's why I always had this desire to come to UT and take a part of everything that was here.
You begin to understand that life can be hard.
My wokeness didn't come until my first year at UT in 1960.
When I was registering for my classes, I counted more dogs on campus than I did black people.
The San Jacinto dorms were basically leftover Army barracks.
World War II barracks. And I have a letter there that explains the information that we received in July of '56, where we would be living because we were Negroes.
Something rolled across the floor. Someone threw something in the door, and it started smoking. And I realized it was a smoke bomb. And it must have been, because nothing ever exploded or anything. It just filled that first floor with smoke. And I ran to the door, and I saw this white kid running up San Jacinto.
And interestingly, in the same, I think a month or so later, there was a cross burning in front of one of the dorms. I think it was labeled that it was a prank.
As far as a social life here at UT, the fraternities and sororities were our lifeline. I pledged AKA when I was a sophomore, I guess, because I pledged fall of 1972. So that started to keep you busy because of the programs that they had.
When I came in '68, they had just allowed their first black player.
So when we went to the games, if it was a school that had black football players, we pulled for the other team.
The University of Houston had a player, a black player, who was phenomenal. Of course, the UT fans weren't happy about that. Every time that fellow would take off running down the field, somebody behind me would stand up and say, "Get that nigger. Get that nigger." That was the first and only time I went to a University of Texas football game for a while, because things changed when my daughter played in the Longhorn Band.
We would go to the basketball games, and every time Larry Robinson would score a point, we would all stand up and start yelling, "More black students! More black students!"
UT was just basically a job for me, and it got me ready for all those other jobs that I had to do throughout my career or throughout my working life.
I graduated and went on to a variety of careers in government and academia.
You know, when you write down University of Texas, there's a lot of doors that can open for you just because you're able to do that.
We have to remember that it happened, and we have to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
There were 4 years of students that came before me. They didn't have to hold out a hand for me. Just the fact that they were here encouraged me.
Even though we had a bad time at UT, I think I can speak for all of us that we love UT. We actually, you know, it almost brings me to tears sometimes to think about how it was so difficult for us, but we still care about this university.
I want to thank UT for going ahead and doing what this project is about, standing up to say this is what happened, and we've had the interviews of these people to document what happened and how it happened, I think is fantastic.